Hello friends, welcome back. Today we will read about the story of Hyderabad in the section of integration of states. First we will see the map of the Hyderabad at the time of independence or during the time of the dates which led to the independence. Okay, leading to the independence. So this was the area of Hyderabad. Okay. You see, Godavari is coming. Aurangabad is there. Aurangabad. You see, Godavari. This is river Godavari. Hmm? Godavari, and we'll just trace the Kaveri also. This is Krishna Kaveri. I will trace the Krishna river. This Kaveri is down below, very down below in the Kerala. Kaveri. This is Kaveri river. Sorry, Krishna. Sorry, I'm sorry. Krishna river. Okay, and somewhere here, Krishna river, and this is Deccan states. This is Hyderabad. This is Aurangabad. This is Bhima. Bhima is a tributary of Krishna. Okay, Bhima. Okay, this is Bidar. This is Latur. Here is Bombay. See how much above this the Hyderabad state was there. No, this is Berar. Now everything these things are in the, I think, in the what do you call that, Karnataka. Okay, this is Berar. This is Aurangabad. This is here Godavari. Here Krishna making the boundary of the this one. Yes, now Hyderabad. Hyderabad similar to the Kashmir and Junagadh. Junagadh, Shahnawaz Bhutto posed complexity in the accession to the Indian Union after independence. Okay, seated along the Deccan Plateau, occupying close to 80,000 square miles and consisting of the population belonging to three linguistic zones such as Telugu. Telugu must be here. Kannada here. Karnataka, Marathi there. Okay, Hyderabad's location in the middle territory, in the Indian territory, was not just strategic but also conducive to the self-sufficient and sustenance. Okay, the military of Hyderabad was more than 24,000 strong. Military. Besides, Hyderabad was also at Rajakar, some 2 lakh strong paramilitary force recruited from among the Muslim aristocrats and controlled by the civilian leader Qasim Rejvi. Okay. Hyderabad had a majority Hindu population with the minority Muslim controlling the administrative and political sphere of the state. Okay, minority Muslim controlling. Exploitative agriculture under the Nizam, exploitative and communal agricultural structure had come to establish. Exploitative and communal agricultural structure. Okay, 40% of the land was either directly owned by the Nizam. 40% of the land owned by Nizam, or given by the Nizam to the elites in the form of Jagir. Okay. The remaining 60% was under the government's land revenue system. 60% land revenue system that gave immense power to the landlords and left those cultivating the land vulnerable to the forced labor. Okay, those cultivating the land vulnerable to forced labor, forceful evictions, illegal exactions of taxes from peasants, and also forms the economic exploitation. By the 1920s, movement of resistance was taking shape among the peasants against the Nizam and his policies. It would reach its zenith by 1946. Okay, peasants against Nizam. In the 1920s, agitation against Nizam was more at a cultural rather than political level. It emerged as a linguistic struggle for Telugu in the form of group called Andhra Jan Sangham. By mid 1930s, the nature and objective of the struggle had changed remarkably and was now demanding for reduced land revenue rates, abolition of forced labor, as well as the introduction of Telugu in local courts. By the 1940s, Andhra Jan Sangham had transformed into the Andhra Mahasabha (AMS) and was soon a space where the communists started exerting their influence. The AMS, Andhra Mahasabha, and Communist Party of India came together to mobilize a strong peasant movement against the Nizam, and soon founded a strong holding among the poor tenants and small landholders. On July 1946, 6 July 1946, a powerful peasant movement erupted in response to the case of forceful land acquisition. A response to forceful land acquisition on part of a hereditary tax collector named Vishnu Ramchandra Reddy. We are Reddy. He was a tax collector, hereditary tax collector. Okay, in the course of next couple of months, it spread across 3,000 to 4,000 villages and took a violent turn on October 1946. July 7th, October 10th, 3 महीने बाद the Nizam handed the AMS Andhra Mahasabha and a spurt of arrest and military raids were made. Atrocities were Rajakar. On the other hand, though, Ittihad-ul-Muslimin, an Islamic fundamentalist organization within the state, had undergone a newfound radicalization under the new leader Qasim Rizvi. See, an Aligarh-based lawyer. See, he was Aligarh-based lawyer. Aligarh is near the Delhi. Okay. Western UP, and from there he was exerting influence here in the southern India, and a passionate believer in the idea of Muslim pride. Okay, under Qasim Rizvi, the Ittihad had promoted a paramilitary body called Rajakar, whose members marched up and down the roads of Hyderabad and carrying swords and guns, talwar or gun. The Rajakar were instrumental in carrying out Nizam's effort to suppress the peasant movement by raiding and plundering villages and killing anyone who appeared as a potential agitator. Okay, raiding, plundering, killing. Declaration of Independence. At the time when discussion around independence and accession to Indian Union were underway, 7th Nizam of Hyderabad, Osman Ali Khan, along with the nobility, had resolutely backed the idea of free Hyderabad. Okay, Hyderabad having its own army, railway, airline network, postal system, radio network, only fostered his thought of having an independent autonomous state. On the day of India's independence, 15 August 1947, Nizam declared Hyderabad as an independence nation. Okay, diplomacy. How the diplomacy worked. Now, negotiation between the then Home Minister of India Sardar Patel and the Nizam resulted in no solution. Patel and Osman Nizam no solution, and tried unsuccessfully to get British to intervene. He even lodged a complaint with the UN, but to no avail. After unsuccessful negotiations, Nehru agreed to standstill agreement. A status quo was maintained, with the Hyderabad giving the guarantee that it would not accede to Pakistan, and the Indian Union giving the guarantee to not to use military force against the state for 1 year. Okay. An independent Hyderabad constituted a cancer in the belly of India. What was a dagger in the heart of India? This Karachi, Jodhpur, Bhopal axis. Now here we see the cancer in the belly of India. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He was very what do you call that? Artistic there in his thought. That there was dagger, here was cancer. Okay. Is famously noted to have said about what was perhaps the most complicated challenge among the princely states of India, Operation Polo. The eventualities of next 13 months would pave the way for ensuing military action of the Indian government to annex Hyderabad into Indian Union. There were reports that from the ground that Nizam irregular force Rajakar were committing atrocities on the innocent civilians. There were retaliatory measures which resulted in the state and the neighboring villages in the Indian territory boiling up in a communal flames. Okay, communal flames were there. Communal charging up was there. At this juncture of time, Nehru and Patel decided to intervene and send in military forces to merge Hyderabad into Indian Union. Operation Polo referred to the police action, was a 5-day long military action that the Indian Union took against the state of Hyderabad. The battle between India and Hyderabad began on 13th September 1948 and ended on 18th September 1948. The Indian forces heavily outnumbered. Okay, the Nizam forces. After the 5th day, Nizam army surrendered to Indian army and Hyderabad became a part of Union of India. Pandit Sundarlal Committee. What was the Pandit Sundarlal Committee doing at the time? There are allegations against the Indian armed forces of negligence and in some instances participation in the violence that was meted out to the minorities in the state. In the wake of these allegations, Nehru constituted a mixed faith committee led by Sundarlal to probe into such allegations. The report of the committee was not made public until mid-2013, and it states that 27,000 to 40,000 people died. It also states explicitly that Indian soldiers were involved in the crimes against minority Muslims. Okay. Population. However, it also reports that many instances the army had protected and saved Muslims. The report is also critical of Rajakars. Okay, what we have read, we will just revise very shortly. Hyderabad about Hyderabad complex situation similar to the Kashmir and Junagadh, 87 square mile, three linguistic zones, Kannada, Marathi, Telugu, military 2400 strong, and also Rajagars 2 lakh strong, Qasim Rizvi, Aligarh based lawyer, and uh, he was puppeteering the situation there here from that Aligarh, majority Hindi population and minority Muslim controlling the administration, exploitative agriculture and communal agriculture structure, exploitative and communal agriculture structure. 40% of the land given to the owned by Nizam or given to the elites by the Nizam as in the form Jagir. 60% land revenue system, under the land revenue system, and those uh, those cultivating the land were vulnerable to forced labor, eviction, illegal accession of taxes, also form economic exploitation. By 1920s, peasant against the Nizam and his policies, you know, movement was resistance was taking shape against the among the peasants and among the peasants against the Nizam. In the 1920s, agitation against the Nizam was more at a cultural rather than political level, and it emerged as a linguistic struggle for Telugu in the form of a group called Andhra Jan Sangam. Okay, cultural level, linguistic, you know. Then after 1930s, in by the mid 1930s, objective and struggle changed. You can now demanding reduced land revenue, reduced land revenue. Okay, first culture, linguistic, reduced land revenue, and abolition of forced labor. Okay, and by 1940s, Andhra Jansangam was transformed into Andhra Mahasabha. Okay, Andhra Mahasabha, and was soon a space where communists started exerting their influence. AMS and CPI came together and against Nizam on 6 July 1946 in response to a case of a forceful land acquisition on the part of hereditary tax collector. We are ready. Okay, Penient movement erupted in the course of next couple of months. Okay, 300 to 4,000 villages come under the fire of this peasant movement, and October 1946 Nizam banned the AMS Andhra Mahasabha, and the spot of arrest military raids were made. Atrocities by Rajakar. Ittihad ul Muslimin, Islamic fundamentalist organization within the state, undergone newfound radicalization under the leader Qasim Rizvi, Aligarh based lawyer. He was radicalizing the people he was Aligarh based, and here he came to radicalize the people of Muslim, and a passionate believer in the idea of Muslim pride. Under the Rizvi, Ittihad had promoted a paramilitary body called Rajakar, okay, who marched up and down the roads of Hyderabad carrying swords and guns, okay, raiding, plundering, and killing the people. Declaration of independence. 7th Nizam Hyderabad, along with nobility, had resolutely backed the idea of free uh, Hyderabad. They declared independence on 15th. Okay, Patel and Nizam resulted in no solution. Negotiation between Patel. Then Nizam tried unsuccessfully to get British to intervene, and he complained to the UN as well. After unsuccessful negotiation, Nehru agreed to standstill agreement. A status quo was maintained with the Hyderabad state giving the guarantee that it would not accede to Pakistan. Indian Union giving the guarantee that to not use military force against state for 1 year. Okay, for 1 year. And independent Hyderabad constituted a cancer in the belly of India. Polo, next 13 months, Operation Polo, Nizam irregular forces, the Rajakar were committing atrocities. This was the basis for launching Operation Polo, one of the bases, and the region was burning in the communal flame. At this point of time, Nehru and Patel decided to intervene and send in military forces to merge Hyderabad with the Indian Union, and Operation Polo, referred to as police action, was 5 days, and 13 September 1948 starting, 18 September 1948 finish. Pandar Sultan committee to see if any atrocities meted out to the minorities. There were some atrocities, but it was a religious faith committee, was not made public until 2013. 27 to 40,000 people died. Okay, as per this Pandit Sundarlal committee, and it was a they were Indian soldiers were involved in the crime against minority, but somewhere they also protected the minority. The report is critical of Rajakar. So